He had medals from the Air Force, a badge from the police department, years as a firefighter, years as an EMT. Every uniform he ever wore told the world the same thing. This is a man you can trust. His wife believed it completely. So did the jury. Almost. So did his own father, who never stopped believing him. But less than 12 hours after his wife's body was found, this decorated, trusted, uniformed man sent an email to his military commander. Not about grief, about her life insurance.
This is the story of Vanessa Mintz, a woman who spent her entire life lifting other people up, and the husband who prosecutors say shot her twice in her own family's mountain lodge, staged it to look like a robbery, and then spent the following days planning a vacation with another woman. Stay with me, because the most disturbing part of this story isn't the gunshot. It's everything that came before it, and everything Travis McGraw did after.
Vanessa Yvonne Mintz was born on June 22, 1957, the only child of Dr. Carl Mintz and Sylvia Korn Mintz. Her father was a Baptist preacher for nearly 40 years. Her family's roots in the mountains of western North Carolina stretched back 9 generations. This wasn't a family that passed through the town of Saluda. This was a family woven into its churches, its leadership, its community fabric for nearly 2 centuries. From an early age, Vanessa's parents took her on Christian mission trips around the world.
Her father later said she became deeply committed to that kind of work, not as a phase, but as a foundation. Faith, sacrifice, service to others. These weren't just words in the Mintz household. They were the blueprint for how Vanessa would live her life. At 18, Vanessa married for the first time. She had 2 daughters, Jessica Freeman and Andrea Little Gray. Even as a young wife and mother, she kept building. Her first marriage ended in divorce. A second brief marriage followed. It also ended. By 2008, Vanessa had just turned 50, 2 divorces behind her. But anyone who knew her would tell you she wasn't the type to sit still and feel sorry for herself. Professionally, Vanessa had become a powerhouse. She built a career in real estate, eventually becoming an owner and broker for RE/MAX 4 Seasons. She wasn't working for someone else's success. She built her own name, her own client base. In 2008, she brought the Athena Leadership Award to Henderson County, a national award honoring women who achieve professional excellence while lifting other women into leadership.
The Athena philosophy is built on values like living authentically, building relationships, acting courageously, and giving back. Friends who knew Vanessa said those words might as well have been written about her specifically. She mentored younger women, including a local pageant winner named Heather Waldbart, who later became a professional dancer. Waldbart remembered Vanessa as someone who genuinely wanted others to chase their dreams and believed they could catch them. Her friend Marcia Blythe Cunningham had a simple way of describing her: a mover and shaker. Always busy, always building something. Real estate, leadership awards, mission trips, mentoring. And because her family owned the Saluda Mountain Lodge, Vanessa also worked there as general manager, helping run the business that had been part of their lives for generations. Her daughters described her as having an enormous heart, trusting, almost to a fault, endlessly forgiving. Someone who believed that with enough determination, she could figure out anything, even in fields where she had 0 experience. But by early 2008, after 2 failed marriages, Vanessa's personal life had become lonely. Professionally, she was thriving. Personally, she was starting over again. That's when Travis McGraw walked into her office. Travis Lee McGraw was 44 when he met Vanessa, 9 years younger than her, separated from his wife. And on paper,
he looked like a dream. He'd served in the Air Force Reserve, earning 2 Air Force Achievement Medals and an Air Force Commendation Medal. He'd worked as a firefighter, an EMT, a police officer in Fletcher, North Carolina. To Vanessa, a woman raised on the idea that service to others was the highest calling, Travis's resume must have read like poetry. The two met through real estate. Travis was house hunting. Vanessa was his agent. According to her daughters, the relationship moved fast. Travis texted constantly. He showed up at her office with treats. When Vanessa worked shifts at the family lodge, Travis would bring her dinner. Vanessa told friends she had finally found her cowboy. After Travis finalized his divorce, he and Vanessa eloped in 2009. From the outside, everything looked golden. Vanessa's daughter Jessica later said Travis became Vanessa's running partner, someone who matched her relentless energy and her love of doing things together. Travis's own father, Willie McGraw, said the two families seemed to fit well. Vanessa took an interest in Travis's children from his previous marriage, including his teenage son Taylor. Travis, in turn, seemed to take an interest in Vanessa's daughters and grandchildren. After the wedding, Travis followed Vanessa into the real estate business, working for a Hendersonville area firm. For 2 years, this looked like a second-chance love story. A woman who had survived 2 divorces finally settled. A man with a record of service finally building a stable family life. But by early 2011, something had shifted. And it had nothing to do with what was happening on the surface. While working in real estate, Travis met a 27-year-old woman named Mary Beth Pfizer. She was recently separated from her husband with a young son and looking for a new place to live. Travis, the same man who'd helped Vanessa find a home years earlier, helped Pfizer look at properties too. According to Pfizer's later testimony, Travis told her he didn't have anyone. He never mentioned Vanessa. He never mentioned that he was married. Their relationship developed mostly through texting and calls. Pfizer said it wasn't physically sexual, but the two exchanged messages saying, "I love you." Eventually, Pfizer discovered through someone at her workplace that Travis was in fact married. When she confronted him, Travis allegedly told her a new story, that he and Vanessa had faked the marriage, or that they were separated and living apart, essentially just business partners. One detail stood out to Pfizer. Travis never introduced her to his children. She found it strange. Looking back, it made sense. He was keeping the compartments of his life carefully separated. By January 2011, Pfizer and Travis had been deeply involved for some time, emotionally at least, by her account. Meanwhile, back at home, Vanessa's daughters say their mother had begun to sense something was wrong. According to Jessica Freeman, Vanessa became withdrawn. She couldn't eat properly. She was physically sick from stress. She found it strange. Looking back, it made sense. He was keeping the compartments of his life carefully separated. By January 2011, Pfizer and Travis had been deeply involved for some time, emotionally at least, by her account. Meanwhile, back at home, Vanessa's daughters say their mother had begun to sense something was wrong. According to Jessica Freeman, Vanessa became withdrawn. She couldn't eat properly. She was physically sick from stress. On February 17th, 2011, that breaking point arrived. That evening, Mary Beth Pfizer saw a text message on Travis's phone from Vanessa that included the word love. Pfizer was furious. She confronted Travis and gave him an ultimatum. Choose. Choose who he wanted to be with exclusively. She gave him until Sunday to answer. Vanessa Mintz had less than 48 hours left to live. February 18th, 2011, the day after the ultimatum. Despite everything happening beneath the surface, Vanessa's day looked like business as usual, because that's exactly who Vanessa was. Around 5:30 p.m., she had a business dinner with a woman named Heidi Lam, connected to a new venture Vanessa had recently purchased, a franchise of the National League of Junior Cotillion, an etiquette program for middle school students. Even with her marriage under invisible strain, Vanessa was still building, still creating new projects, still moving forward the way she always had. After dinner, Vanessa and Heidi Lam drove to the Saluda Mountain Lodge, Vanessa's family's property, where she worked as general manager. Both women planned to stay there overnight. When they arrived around 8 p.m., Heidi Lam noticed something: a red pickup truck parked near the lodge's breezeway. Travis McGraw was already there. At some point that evening, Travis left the lodge to bring Vanessa food and a drink. A small, ordinary gesture, the kind of thing he'd done for her since the earliest days of their relationship.
After that, Heidi Lam went to her own room for the night. This was the last time anyone would document Vanessa Mintz alive and well, going about an ordinary evening, having dinner with a friend, building a new business, working at the family lodge she loved. In the early morning hours of February 19th, everything changed. Heidi Lam woke up to two loud whooshing sounds, slightly more than a minute apart. She couldn't fall back asleep. Roughly 30 to 45 minutes later, she got up and left the lodge. As she did, she saw the same red pickup truck, still parked in the same place near the breezeway. At around 9 a.m., Vanessa's daughter, Jessica Freeman, arrived at the lodge to take over the morning shift from her mother. Almost immediately, she noticed things were wrong. The blinds were drawn. The closed sign was still up, hours after the lodge should have opened. The office door was open.
Jessica went into the manager's apartment. In the back bedroom, she found her mother. Vanessa Mintz had been shot twice, once in her right arm, once in her head. She was 53 years old. At first glance, the scene looked like a robbery gone wrong. The lodge's cash drawer was open and empty, roughly $200 missing. But almost immediately, the story started to fall apart.
There was no forced entry anywhere on the property. No broken windows, no damaged locks, nothing to suggest a stranger had broken in. And while the cash drawer was empty, valuable jewelry, including an expensive ring Vanessa had taken off the night before, was left untouched, sitting in plain view. For Special Agent Steve McClellan, none of it added up. The Saluda Mountain Lodge wasn't the kind of place a random stranger would simply stumble upon in the middle of the night.
And the apartment itself was unusually neat for what was supposed to be a violent robbery homicide. Then, investigators found the piece of evidence that would ultimately unravel everything. A spent Winchester 12-gauge shotgun shell lying on the bedroom floor near Vanessa's shoes. The autopsy confirmed Vanessa had suffered 2 shotgun wounds, one to her right arm, interpreted as a defensive injury, one to her head. Pellets and shell wadding recovered from both wounds were consistent with 12-gauge Winchester shotgun shells, the exact type found on the bedroom floor. Investigators now had a body, a staged robbery that didn't make sense, and a single shotgun shell that didn't belong to a stranger who'd vanished into the night. The next move would change the entire direction of the case, and it came from someone nobody initially suspected.
In the days following Vanessa's death, Travis McGraw did something that, on its face, looked like the behavior of an innocent man. He voluntarily consented to a search of his truck. Investigators found firearms, magazines, ammunition, and 12-gauge shotgun shells inside. He didn't stop there.
Travis also voluntarily handed over firearms from his own home, including a camouflage Mossberg Model 500A 12-gauge shotgun. To his father, Willie McGraw, this was proof of innocence. Why would a former police officer, a man who understood forensic evidence better than almost anyone, voluntarily hand investigators the very weapon that could convict him? Willie called his son arrogant and headstrong, but insisted he wasn't stupid enough to leave behind evidence that obvious. But SBI firearms examiner Shane Green ran tests that would prove devastating.
He test-fired shells from Travis's Mossberg and compared the markings to the spent shell recovered from the lodge's bedroom floor. His conclusion? The shell found at the crime scene had been fired from Travis McGraw's shotgun. CBS later reported that Green described the match as 100% certain, a level of confidence that would later become the central issue of Travis's appeal. The stranger with a gun theory was gone. The shell on the floor, the detail that should have pointed toward a robber, instead pointed directly at Vanessa's husband. And as investigators dug deeper into Travis's life, in the days after Vanessa's death, they uncovered Mary Beth Pfizer and the ultimatum she'd given him just 2 days before Vanessa was killed. If the shell casing was damning, what Travis did in the hours and days after Vanessa's death made things immeasurably worse.
At 7:53 p.m., on the very same day Vanessa's body was discovered, Travis sent an email to his Air Force Reserve commander, Major William Boson. The subject? A $100,000 service members group life insurance policy on Vanessa's life. Major Boson later testified that he was shocked. The inquiry came within roughly 10 to 12 hours of Vanessa's death becoming known. Travis would later claim he only asked because he was worried about covering funeral costs. Then there was Mary Beth Pfizer. CBS reported that after Vanessa's death, Travis wrote to Pfizer, describing the killing as if a stranger had broken in, robbed the cash drawer, and shot Vanessa. Pfizer testified that she didn't want to believe Travis was capable of it, even as the timing of her own ultimatum and Vanessa's death less than 48 hours later sat uneasily in the back of her mind.
But perhaps the most chilling detail of all? After Vanessa's death, but before her funeral, Travis made plans with Pfizer for a trip to Tybee Island, Georgia. Pfizer found a rental house online. Travis handed her his credit card to put down the deposit. Pfizer eventually canceled the trip. She said something felt wrong. And after Travis was arrested, the letters kept coming. According to Pfizer's testimony, Travis wrote to her repeatedly from jail, apologizing for lying to her, professing love, including sexual content, and telling her he'd be financially comfortable once he got out. He asked her to wait for him. A man who, on the surface, looked like a grieving widower, was behind the scenes planning vacations and writing love letters to his secret girlfriend before his wife was even buried. Travis was arrested 4 days after Vanessa's death and formally indicted on first-degree murder on July 25, 2011. He spent roughly 13 months in jail before his family raised a $750,000 bond, allowing him to be released while awaiting trial. For Vanessa's daughters, this period was its own form of torment. CBS reported that they would see Travis out in the community at stores around town.
While the case dragged on for years, every sighting was a fresh reminder that the man accused of killing their mother was walking free. Before trial, prosecutors offered Travis a plea deal, second-degree murder, with a sentence reportedly in the range of 16 to 20 years. By all accounts, he appeared ready to take it. Then, in March 2014, just as the hearing to finalize the plea was about to begin, Travis backed out. Local reporting said the reversal stunned everyone in the courtroom,
including, reportedly, his own defense attorney. The state withdrew the offer. The case was headed to trial on first-degree murder. No deal on the table. The trial began in Polk County Superior Court in May 2014. Travis testified in his own defense, leaning heavily on his resume, his Air Force medals, his years of public service. His explanation for the shell casing? He claimed he'd gone to
His son, Taylor McGraw, 17 at the time of the murder, around 20 by trial, testified that he and his father had slept at home that night, roughly 12 miles from the lodge. Taylor said the family dog was deaf and unusually sensitive to vibrations and would have woken him if his father left the house. But under cross-examination, Taylor admitted something that quietly demolished his own testimony. He was an extremely heavy sleeper. Meanwhile, Heidi Lom's account, the red truck near the breezeway, the loud sounds in the night, the truck still there when she left, directly contradicted Travis's claim that he'd been home the entire night, 12 miles away. On the witness stand, Travis admitted he'd never told Mary Beth Pfizer he was married. He admitted he was in love with her. He admitted he wanted to be with her. But he denied completely killing Vanessa. On June 4th, 2014, the jury reached its verdict: guilty of first-degree murder. Travis McGraw was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What makes Travis McGraw such a disturbing figure isn't just what he allegedly did. It's how seamlessly he operated across two completely separate emotional lives. Travis built police officer, firefighter, EMT, military reservist. These aren't just jobs. They're roles society trains us to instinctively trust. When Vanessa's daughter said her mother admired that Travis was a civil servant, she was describing exactly the kind of halo effect those roles create. But according to the people who knew him, there was a second Travis operating underneath. Special Agent Steve McLaughlin put it simply: Travis had a lot of secrets and a whole other life. Mary Beth Pfizer described him as charming and warm, the exact same words Vanessa's family used. He wasn't presenting two different personalities to two different women. He was presenting the same charming, attentive persona and simply hiding the existence of the other relationship entirely. The detail about never introducing Pfizer to his children is particularly telling. It suggests Travis wasn't improvising chaotically. He was actively managing boundaries between his compartments, keeping each relationship insulated from contamination by the other. Then there's the insurance email. Sending that message roughly 10 to 12 hours after his wife's body was discovered isn't just suspicious. It suggests someone whose mind had already moved past the emotional event and into logistics and self-interest, at a moment when a genuinely grieving spouse would typically be in shock.
The same applies to planning a vacation with his girlfriend before his wife's funeral. These aren't the actions of someone processing grief. They're the actions of someone executing a plan. Finally, the decision to reject a plea deal, not once, but reportedly twice, and instead testify, lean on his medals, and bet everything on a jury believing him, speaks to a deep overconfidence in his own ability to perform. Throughout his life, Travis's charm and credibility had opened doors. In the courtroom, for the first and only time, they didn't. Vanessa Mintz spent her whole life lifting other people up, mentoring young women, building businesses, running mission trips, running toward every challenge in